library is home to many useful resources for students. Complete with a reference area, IT help desk, study rooms, and tutoring services, the library is the perfect place for students to go during their studies at Wingate. However, it is also a place packed with stories of ghosts and paranormal activity for those who work here. These are those stories. These are Ethel Encounters. The library was first opened in 1959 by Ethel Smith, wife of Wingate University president Dr. Bud E. Smith. Ethel also taught in the English department for 2 years before assuming the position of head librarian. Ethel was known for her love of books and dedication to the library, but also for being a strong and determined woman who fueled significant growth at Wingate during her husband's presidency. Those who work in the library often claim to have experiences with Ethel's spirit, as she remains a librarian in the afterlife. From incorrectly placed books flying off the shelves to the sounds of carts moving upstairs, Ethel continues to take care of the library to this day.
Working in the reference area in the DVD collection, alone in the building, assured I was alone in the building, and yet I heard chairs moving on the mezzanine. I did not go and investigate.
So I thought, I want something crazy to happen. I want something like an entire shelf full of stuff to get knocked over right in front of me. So a couple of things. We know Ethel's classy, and I literally had the thought, I hope a whole shelf full of stuff gets knocked over. Very important. So as I'm in the library opening up on this Sunday, I turn on the lights. The same day I thought this thing about the shelf, I turn on the lights in the back. I'm walking into our technical services area to turn on the lights back there. And as I open the door, I notice that something's really weird. There's stuff all over the floor. There are large books, there's library supplies, there's a coffee maker with a coffee pot all over the floor, right on the path that I always take on a Sunday to open the building. I noticed that the coffee pot, the glass coffee carafe, however you say it, is intact. No cracks, it's not broken. There's no way this thing could have fallen 3 feet off of a shelf onto a floor that's concrete covered in carpet and not have broken. Well, it did. So I'm thinking that Ethel somehow read my vibes and decided to teach me a lesson by knocking over a whole bunch of stuff from a shelf right in front of my path. So I left that stuff as it was so that the tech services people could see it and add it to their collection of stories. And since that's happened, I've kind of been slightly more of a believer in Ethel. I haven't felt her presence, but I'm not totally discounting her.
When Mrs. Odom has gone for the day, I'm here later than her. I will never turn off the light in her office because when it is dark, I constantly see shadow movement out of the corner of my eye. So I always keep the light on. That does not make her behave. And I know the fan is off because I go in and check, Mrs. Odom, did she turn the fan off? If it's the fridge closed, blah, blah, blah. I will hear papers moving, rustling. And I have at some days had to say, Ethel, knock it off. I really have too much to do. You're messing with me.
Do you think she just knows where the director's office is?
Yeah, I also think her energy is in tune with other people's energy that can pick up the fact that she's around.
The olfactory sense is a powerful force in our universe. It sparks memory, association, and perception. Its capacity, like that of the other senses, is mayhap underestimated when discussing ghostly encounters. Often, we are asked, did you see the ghost? My experiences with Ethel, for example, have been primarily olfactory-oriented. I have come to recognize Ethel's scent, her perfume, if you will. In all the moments when I can feel her presence. That moment when you feel someone staring at you, but you are completely alone, that's when I get a whiff of her fragrance. The overwhelming floral notes. It reminds me a bit of an Estee Lauder scent. This experience usually happens once or twice a semester when I'm working late or alone in the library. When I smell it, I stop whatever I'm doing, tell Ethel I'm working, and eventually she seems satisfied and goes on her way back to the third floor. You know, that might be her now. I have to get back to work.